I still find it hard to believe that I was chosen to inspect this godforsaken place. The amounts of pain and suffering that were caused here are terrifying enough to the point that no one came here for over 4,000 years. And yet, here I am, a lone knight who has to go through this place. He strolled through the dark hallway, passing by various tightly shut iron doors. A part of him felt relieved about the inability to enter, for even through the small gaps he could see what he would meet inside. Death, blood, perhaps even corpses that weren't disposed of before the sudden shutting of the facility. It was not something he'd want to see. The walk felt endless. It was like, no matter how far he went, he just wasn't getting any closer to the end. Of course, on the way, he checked every single door, against his own unwillingness to do so. Eventually, he noticed a door that stood out. It was not iron. Instead, it was wooden. The plate on top of it was rusted, and the writing was absolutely illegible. His hand motioned towards the door's handle as he slowly turned it. The door gave in as he stepped inside a medium-sized room filled with bookshelves. A document room? Or a library? He wondered out loud, at this point bothered by the absolute lack of sound within this place. He didn't know what would be scarier, the absolute silence or hearing something that he was unable to see. He strolled through the shelves and pulled off a box that stood out to him for some reason. Inside were a bunch of papers, all signed and with dates. He sat against the wall and went through a few out of curiosity. 9th of September, 5671. I, Rana Mayer, have been officially assigned to care about the documentary of all our subjects, aside from being one of the head scientists. As of this day, we shall be starting a new project on the beings present within the cells. Together with my team, we developed a special type of pill. We don't know its effects yet, which is why we shall be testing it on a few different subjects to determine how it affects each of them. We have planned for it to last about 1 or 2 weeks, for the most optimal results to be shown. I deeply hope that it will be successful. 13th of September, 5671. After a few days of observation, we have noticed minor changes in each of the test subjects. 2 out of 10 seem to be overly energetic and are far more eager to start fights with the scientists and guards. Their physical strength seems to have increased. 4 out of 10, on the contrary, seem to have grown weaker. They talk less and have trouble picking up heavier objects. 3 out of them seem to be most affected in the psychological aspect. Upon further observation, they act like they have developed the first stages of schizophrenia. They seem to be experiencing hallucinations and are far less stable. The most interesting one is the final subject. He was not affected like the rest of the group. Aside from odd black markings that have appeared on his body, nothing seems to have changed. Upon being questioned about his state, he said that the marks don't cause any discomfort, and they feel just like the rest of his body. We shall leave this to further observation. 20th of September, 5671. Half of the scientists involved in this project have mysteriously disappeared. No one is aware of what happened to them. 3 of the subjects involved in the experiment have passed away in a very odd manner. Their insides seem to have melted completely, causing massive internal bleeding and then death. 6 of the subjects have gone insane. They mumble endlessly about a dark savior that whispers to them. They react aggressively to anyone that approaches them and refuse to hydrate and consume food. The subjects in which the markings were observed is the only one that seems to be fine. After time, the black parts of his skin have vanished, and he never complained about anything or told us anything about any outputting observations. There are 3 days of the project left. We'll see what happens. The experiment has gone terribly wrong. We are evacuating everyone while we still can. All of the subjects except for the marked one have died in the same way as the others. And it wasn't only them. Anyone who gets close to the remaining subject dies in a similar manner. The walls in the deceased people's cells have the same message all over them, written with blood. The Savior will free us all. I don't know what happened. I don't know how. The last subject was locked in a strong cell and strong demonic spells. We will now escape before he gets out. If anyone reads this, please, get out. He stared at the paper with fear for a moment, sweat rolling down his face. He never heard about something like this before. No one has ever mentioned that this place was also an experiment ground. He got up and froze. A cold wind blew past him as he barely heard a soft voice ring in his ears. Come find me. His body began to shiver. He wasn't alone, and he knew who the other being was. The thing that was in the documents he read was still alive and living here. He had to get out. He had to leave before he died from its hands. He ran out of the room, dashing towards the exit, but he couldn't leave. A thick wall of something black and slimy blocked his way. He cried and tried to break through it, frantically. In that moment he lost all sense of reason. He just wanted out. The voice spoke to him again, this time more clearly. Not yet. I want to see you. Find me. He had no choice anymore. There was no other way. He turned around and stared into the black abyss that was the corridor. He swallowed the saliva that gathered in his mouth and walked forward. It almost felt like time had stopped. He was just walking, pretty much prepared for his death. He was cold, terrified. The voice rang inside his head once more. It's been so long. I was lonely. Won't you keep me company? 5 minutes. Or was it an hour? He didn't know anymore. He just kept on walking. Finally, he reached his destination. A large door covered in the black substance that the wall has been made of. His hand reached out for the doorknob, and he opened the door. The inside was dark, but something could be seen in the corner. A man. His hair was long and white. The only thing covering his body were bandages. His head moved upwards, and he smiled at the boy who entered the room. Finally. I was getting impatient. Welcome. What's your name? It took the boy a moment to answer. Ross. Ross. I like it. The man slowly got up. I am Oliver. I barely remembered my name. Oliver laughed quietly. Ross was frozen with fear. It felt like he was drowning in ice-cold water. The creature's smile vanished slightly as he came closer. You're really scared, huh? Well, no wonder. Those papers said some nasty stuff about me, but I am not a bad person. They were the evil ones. They framed people for crimes and brought them here for experiments. I suffered a lot too. They were cruel. They were cruel. I am not a bad person. I am not. I'm just lonely. Ross wasn't able to say a word. His mouth just refused to move. Oliver slowly pulled him into an embrace. So, let me have you now. Darkness. It engulfed him completely. It felt comforting. It wasn't cold anymore. He felt good. Rose woke up in the bed, his sister looking down on him worriedly. Ross, thank God you woke up. I was scared. He sat up and rubbed the back of his head. What happened? You were found outside of the entrance to the old jail. No one knows what happened to you. Something flashed within his mind as he frowned. I remember now. I hit my head on something while heading back. Sorry for scaring you, sis. It's fine. I'll tell the others you're feeling better. Rest some more. She got up and left the room. Right after she did, a dark figure formed behind Ross and softly hugged him. It will be really fun from now on. I'll do my best to assist you, my darling. Ross's eyes flashed from red to black for a moment, before he looked down and closed his eyes. Yes, do not disappoint me. All right. I still find it hard to believe that I was chosen to inspect this godforsaken place.